Secrets rotation for AWS Postgres works for any database instance in a VPC, using a Lambda function as a proxy that provides Doppler with a secure private connection to your database. From the project page, select the environment, scroll down to the Rotated Secrets section, click Add Rotated Secret, then select AWS Postgres. The first step is creating the Lambda and required IAM and VPC resources. So in a new tab, navigate to the AWS console and check that you're in the same region as your database instance. Let's start by creating the Lambda execution role by navigating to the IAM roles page, then click Create Role. The trusted entity type should be AWS Service. Select Lambda from the Use Case section and click Next. Use the Doppler AWS Secrets Rotation docs to reference the two policies required, then click Next. Name the role and click Create Role. Then create a security group for the Lambda proxy by navigating to the Security Groups page and click Create Security Group. Provide a name, a description, select the same VPC as your database instance, and click Create Security Group. Next, we'll change the security group attached to your Postgres instance to allow inbound connections from the Doppler security group. Head back to the Security Groups page, select your Postgres security group, click Edit Inbound Rules, Add Rule, select the Postgres port, select the Doppler Lambda security group as the source, then click Save Rules. Now we're ready to create the Lambda function. Navigate to the Lambda console and click Create Function. Provide a name, set the runtime to node 16, change the default execution role to the role we created earlier, then click Advanced Settings. Check Enable Code Signing and select Create New Configuration. Enter a description, then from the Doppler AWS Secrets Rotation docs, copy the signing profile ARN and paste it into the signing profile version ARN field. Set the signature validation policy to enforce, then head back to the Doppler documentation, copy the Postgres code URL for your region, and paste it into the S3 object field. Click Enable VPC, select the VPC containing your Postgres instance, then choose one or more private subnets. Select the Doppler Lambda security group, then click Create Function. Once the function has finished creating, head back to the Doppler documentation and copy the Postgres handler. Then scroll down to the Runtime Settings section, click Edit, set the custom handler, and click Save. Finally, increase the default timeout by selecting the Configuration tab, click Edit, set the timeout to 30 seconds, and click Save. Then copy the Lambda ARN, switch back to the Doppler dashboard, and paste it into the Lambda ARN field. The Lambda function requires an S3 VPC endpoint to download Doppler's public key for signature verification, so you'll need to create one if it doesn't already exist. To check, navigate to the VPC console, then click Endpoints. If an S3 endpoint doesn't exist, click Create Endpoint, provide a name, then for services, enter com.amazon.aws, followed by the region, then S3, and check the gateway record. Select the same VPC as the Lambda, the route tables for the private subnets, then click Create Endpoint. The final step is to create the IAM role Doppler will assume to invoke the Lambda. Navigate to the IAM Policies page and click Create Policy. Copy the JSON policy from the Doppler documentation and paste it into the AWS Policy Editor. Then from the Doppler dashboard, copy the ARN, switch back to the IAM Policy page, and replace your Lambda ARN with the copied ARN. Then click Next. Name the policy and click Create Policy. Then click Roles and Create Role. Select AWS Account, check another AWS account, and paste in Doppler's account ID, which is found in the documentation. Check Require External ID, then paste in your Doppler Workplace slug, which is the value after Workplace in the dashboard URL. Then click Next. Attach the custom Doppler policy, click Next, name the role, and click Create Role. Then click the Doppler role, copy the ARN, then switching back to the Doppler dashboard, paste the ARN into the role ARN field. Name the integration, then click Next to verify the AWS resources have been configured correctly. We'll set the secrets prefix to rotated DB to avoid potential name collisions with existing database secrets. Confirm the rotation interval, set the host and database name, supply the managing user credentials, which should only have permissions to alter user passwords, then enter the alternating users for secrets rotation and click Next to complete the setup process. The final step is to replace the hard-coded database secrets with references to the rotated values, so no application updates are required. With the one-time task of creating the Lambda proxy, secrets rotation can now be set up for any Postgres database within this region in only a few minutes.